We will continue the commercial mechanical code. We are now in module 15. This is very important one because this is explaining testing strategies for commercial mechanical exam. The recommended study time is 60 minutes. Registration for international code council exam. The ICC exam process can be a bit confusing at first, but we will help to break it down so you can understand how the test works, how to sign up, and what to expect. At this point in your studies, if you have successfully completed all previous modules, quizzes, and practice tests, you are ready to register for the exam. Fast facts: take a look at the video below that show the exam registration process. At this point in your studies, having completed all previous modules and quizzes, you will want to purchase the exam.
Okay, I'm going to show you how to register for an ICC test. Now, an ICC test is the same, the process is the same no matter what you're taking. So you've got to go to iccsafe.org. I've gone there now, and you've got to sign in. So if you don't have an account, you have to create one. I click the sign in here. You can register if you don't have one. I'm going to use my email and password and sign in. Okay, I'm signed in. Now you see this little lock that was locked. It's unlocked now, showing that I have signed in. So you're going to want to go to My ICC. This is where you're going to manage everything you have. You can go to it there or here. I'm going to click on it here and go to that screen. So here it shows my dashboard. ICC dashboard. They've done some updates as of this recording, so you can see, they wanted to take me through a tour. I don't need to do that. But okay, so here's a few things. So your certifications that are active, they'll be listed here. Don't freak out. I haven't renewed mine because I just go take the test. See right down here, your 6 certifications need renewal. I know that. If you have CEUs that you've recorded that are in progress towards your renewal, remember every 3 years you've got to renew these via CEUs. You can do that, and then if you bought any courses with ICC and so forth. So let's go to my exams. You're going to come up with this screen. Now I'm actually in light mode. They gave me an option for dark mode or light mode, so that's pretty cool. They really put a lot of investment in the dashboard here. So you're going to want to go to exam catalog. Remember, this is to schedule a Pronto exam. Now, all of the ICC special inspector exams and many of the other ICC exams in general are offered through Pronto. That's their proctored remote online testing interface. Okay, so I'm going to type in pre-stressed concrete plans, and I'm going to register for it. Okay, I don't need more info. You can click that and see more info if you want. And that's loading up. It's going to take me to this screen to purchase it. Okay, here's where you're going to choose Pronto. Okay, the online proctor testing. This is, if you do computer-based, you're going to be trying to get into Pearson VUE Testing Center that's nearest you. This is obviously going to be the easiest because you just need to do it from your home computer, or you can do it from your home computer. You just need to have a camera. So, okay, you would add that to cart, and then you can view cart and proceed to checkout. Okay, now once you buy this, you're going to have it on your My ICC dashboard under My Exams. Okay, and it'll say, I took it already just pretty recently, but it'll say schedule exam, and then you're going to schedule it, and it's going to take you into the interface of the Pronto system where you're going to here. Let's see if we can get some screenshots. I'm not going to do it just yet, but here, let's show it. Let me show you. So this gives you information about Pronto, and you'll notice that like the hours of operation Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. I think you can take tests outside of this on the week. Let's say the weekend. but I don't know if you're getting on at 2 a.m. if you can do it. I haven't tried it, so I don't know. Because you have to have somebody's going to be there watching you. So there would have to be proctors around the clock. I don't know that that's quite the case. Let's click on exams. Let me see here. I'm going to the right place. Yeah. Okay. So they're showing you kind of how this works, right? So you'll have the action of taking the exam once you buy it and it's on your dashboard. Okay. You're going to begin it. You're going to do this booking screen where this is obviously your choice, remote proctoring. You're going to put your time zone where you live. And then it's going to reach out and give you the next proctor available time. So they say they're doing it within, 15-minute increments. They probably have just a list of proctors that they've hired that, slots get filled and they see it on their screen and then they you okay it, and then you go into the test session. And you're going to be using your home computer. Their proctor's going to ask you like to scan the room and things like that. So they'll see what you have in there, make sure you're not recording the screen. You can't have any other windows open, various things like that. So it's still a regulated process, but you're just doing it through your home computer. And that's how it works, guys. Thanks.
Pronto, taking the exam at home. This exam can't be taken at distance center. It can be taken on your home computer. You will need stable internet connection and webcam installed or connected to your computer. This is the requirements for the exam. Have a look at this one. Take your time. Okay, you checked all the requirements. Let's go to the next step. Additional requirements: a function microphone, some web cameras, have them built in, a compatible browser, Google Chrome preferred or Mozilla Firefox, no support, Google Chrome, Box, tables, Linux, Windows 10, none running inside a virtual machine. This illustration 15T CMI Pronto computer system requirements. You will take this test from your home computer provided your system meets these requirements. Study tip: Pronto advantages and disadvantages. Advantage number one: take the test from anywhere in the world. Advantage two: get completely ICC certified from anywhere in the world. Advantage number three: avoid closed or heavily booked testing centers. Advantage number four: take the test on the same day you schedule it. In most cases. Disadvantage one: if your internet is dis- disrupted, the test session could cancel. Inadvertent misshapes are able to be restarted by the protector. Note that when taking the test at home, plan to block out the allotted time where you will be free from distraction and interruption. Think about it. If someone were to walk into your room during the session, it will break your concentration. Even an exterior window within your view can be distracting. Distractions and interruptions like this can cause the protector who is watching you live the entire time through your camera to go bananas. You don't want to give any proctor reasons for suspicions or even possibly to cancel your testing session. Important notice, your protector will not only ask to see your testing room, but maybe also want to see your webcam itself. This created a unique challenge for one of our SI sales team members. He didn't have a mirror on him, so he grabbed his phone and used the phone camera, but you will not allow to have your phone on you. So the protector want to verify that he put his phone away. You may want to have a small mirror set aside. The next video shows the complex setup of Pronto on your home computer. This is best watches just before you plan to take the test at home.
I'm going to show you the process of going into the Pronto exam. Now, obviously, at some point, I'm going to have to stop because you cannot have any other programs running or any kind of recording, of course, right? So I've got the 47P reinforced concrete exam here to take. When you purchase this, it's good for an entire year. It will expire after a year, so you've got to take the exam within that time. So here's how this is going to work. And believe me, I did this yesterday and oh my gosh, it took me over an hour to just get everything set up and kind of dialed in. Okay. Now here you're going to go to online proctoring, new booking, and find your time zone. For me, I'm going to be in Arizona time zone. And I'm going to do, it's right away. Okay. So obviously that's today, the 15th, which is today. And the time they're giving me, oh boy, what's there? Oh my gosh. Okay. So 2 out. No. Oh yeah, that's right now. I'm going to go ahead and do that because I'm ready to take it, submit booking. Let's see how fast I can get. Now you're going to have to download. Okay. So here, exam available in 1 minute. You go back to launch page. This is not always very clear. Okay, so I'm going to see if I can help you guys clear some things up. I agreed to their terms. They've got some things here that they explain. And then, okay. I'm not take an exam yet. So you're going to have to download this program called Log Me In. Okay, it's part of, see the support, Log Me In Rescue. This is what you're actually going to be connecting to the proctor with. See, I had connected my webcam and everything, and then I didn't realize that I had to do this too and log into or get this up and running. So I was sitting there waiting for a proctor, and then it turns out I just needed to load that. Right? So that was a huge problem that I didn't realize what was going on. So now that I've got this here, see this? So now it is connecting, and let's see. I ran into this problem too, where it kept saying disconnected and like it was trying to, the session has expired. So I may have to re-download it again. I'm actually not sure. This is how kind of confusing this is. Let me click on details. Okay, no details. 1 second. Back to launch page. Let me click this again. Launch exam. Okay, here we go. I may have to re-download the login. Okay, check this out. This is what you're downloading, what I was telling you. It's going to come in my Finder window. That's on another screen. You can't see it, but it's this. Okay, so I'm on my rescue. I guess it's a new. Okay, so now it's a new one again. So I guess maybe you have to re-download that every time. Is what it looks like. Okay, I guess I see the chat box. I'll click that. I have to agree to these guidelines. See that? Great. I'll agree. You got to stay seated. You got to be quiet. They don't want any talking in the room. You got to stay within the camera because they're going to be watching you the whole time, and it can't be any, public place. They don't want you whispering with anybody. So I'm going to agree to that. And let's see. I'm allowing the microphone. Okay. In order to continue, please share your entire screen. So I'm actually, okay, this is where I was stuck because I can see myself here and I was just sitting there waiting. But what I had to do was open up this support, login rescue to do it. And then I connected with the proctor. Then she took over the screen, make sure everything was closed, make sure my settings were cut off too. For example, let me show you. Let's see if I can pull it up here. Okay, on a Mac, okay, I had to go to keyboard and then shortcuts, and they're going to make sure all this is unchecked, so you cannot screenshot things. Okay, that's part of the process. So the proctor comes on and controls your computer and does all that. So I'm going to, what is this? Here, let me disconnect my screen. I'm going to stop. Well, we'll stop this. Let me see. Gosh, I don't remember which screen is. Okay, no, that's not it. Screen 2. This is it. Okay. Allow. Okay, and I have an external monitor plugged in right now. That's what I'm doing this on. It's a 32-inch. I'm going to have to disconnect it. This is one of the terrible things about this system because you want to use that big monitor for plan reading, but you can't. So I'm going to, okay, let's see. I'll stop this now because I'm going to put my driver's license up. But this is like right as you're getting into the test session. And I have to take off my hat, of course. You can't wear a watch, even if it's, a normal watch. This is right up until you're getting in to take the test and connecting with a live proctor. So I'm going to disconnect this recording and hope this helps. Just got done taking the reinforced concrete plans test again, this time through Pronto. You can see my office setup now. Of course, this is my normal setup. You cannot use an external display. They will when they screencast you, when they're recording you. They will control your computer and they will check your displays and make sure everything's disconnected. So I didn't have this connected like this. And in fact, I had to reorientate my laptop to the end of my desk towards the angle of the camera where you're sitting now because the window was creating too much of a glare. So you can't be really sitting in front of a window. Let's say you gotta have like a solid background and the lighting can't cast any kind of weird shadows or silhouette you in any way. You have to take your computer beforehand and show all 4 sides of the room. You've got to show under your desk. You've got to show nobody's in there, or you've got to have a clear surface. Clear off anything. Your phone's you want to have your phone with you in the beginning because they want to see you record or have your camera on flipped so they can see you through the camera of your computer and they can see what your computer looks like itself. So I had to do that. Then they ask you to put your phone away on the other side of the room. And obviously you don't want to have distractions. The minute I clicked to take the test, I got an email or a text from somebody that was coming by to drop something off. So I had to break away. I lost almost 15 minutes, but they will let you do that kind of thing if it's a scheduled restroom break, right? So it can be whatever, I guess it is. But it is permitted. So I literally spent almost 15 minutes talking to the person and figuring things out. And then I came back in and just finished taking the test. So.
The commercial mechanical test. Fast facts. The ICC Mechanical Inspector Certification is a single test. Exam code M2. This is the exam code. You are given 2 hours to complete 50 code questions. Commercial mechanical inspector. This is how we will select. Illustration 15T CMP, the ICC exam catalog. This is the exam catalog for M2. Information, questions, time, and open book or not. It's open book. You can view the exam catalog for yourself by clicking here that you will enter the website and search for each certification With keyword, you will find the current test cost and be able to start the registration
Why this
process.
course works. The mind is an incredible thing, no matter our age or our IQ. When you study the code and actually learn the material, you retain information. You can find sections easily in large books, and you can go into the test with a lot of confidence. And that's why this course and other online training from SI Certs really works. We take these tests, so we know what's on them and how to tailor our instruction. But we've also focused on teaching you the code so you really learn it. We're not about rote memorization, highlighting without learning, or skipping the study process and going straight to the practice questions. Our approach truly is the best way to learn and prepare for a test with technical questions.
Study tip. Our course practice test will give you strong indication for how well you will do when taking the real exam. If you have taken your time through each module, answering the questions, references the code book continually, and not moving on prior to having a true understanding of material, then you should have a confidence in your preparation and your ability to pass the test. We understand how the ICC conducts their tests, the way they phrase their questions, and the intent behind the question posted. Understanding this was the key to developing our
Confidence
quizzes
isn't
and
hope.
practice tests.
Having confidence isn't the same thing as having blind hope. In other words, you don't have to hope you will pass when you have true confidence, and that is bred from the hours of focused study and preparation that you've put in. Preparation breeds confidence, and confidence breeds success. Confidence will help you relax the night before, up to, and during the test. You can go into this with a calm confidence. This will help you think more clearly and recall more from your studies. Chances are you will also answer questions faster with better focus to work through the more difficult ones.
Study tip. If you didn't study the course carefully, thoroughly looking up every question you have missed and using the reference in each module, don't schedule your test. You are wasting your own time and money. Go back through and get it right the first time. If you do take the test and fail, you have the opportunity to take it again as soon as you want. SICERTS is also here to coach you along the way until you pass. Applying for commercial mechanical inspection certification. Fast facts: unlike a few of ICC special inspector certifications, there are no work experience or education prerequisites for the commercial mechanical inspector certification. In other words, anyone can take and pass the test and become an ICC mechanical inspector. Illustration 15T CMC, the ICC Commercial Mechanical Inspector Certification. Building officials and special inspectors find lot of value going after the Commercial Mechanical Inspector Certification since there is no prerequisites for the certification. It makes the journey to the code inspection that much easier. Taking the commercial mechanical test M2 fast facts. The ICC commercial mechanical inspector test M2 is an open book test. You will use the code book to answer
Can
the
I
50
bring in my
question.
notes? You can only take bound books into the test. These would be the code books that you have used going through this course. If some of your code books are in digital format, you're okay to print them out and put them in a 3-ring binder. That is considered a bound book, an approved binding method. Okay, so what about any notes you've taken along the way? Well, as a reminder, you cannot use any types of loose leaf papers during the test session. Also, you cannot have post-it notes or temporary flags on your code books. You may be asked to pull them off by the test proctor. Any tabbing must be of a permanent nature. Any notes you may have written in the margins and white space of your code books is permitted for use.
Can I write notes during the test? A digital notepad will be available to you for use during the test. You will need to click a button to make the notepad appear in it. You can type any notes you would like to take during the test, close it and open it again, and your notes will be
Digital
there.
notepad option that's available. During the testing session, you will see a button that toggles a digital notepad on the screen. When it is brought up, you can type any notes or question numbers if you want. Because you can flag questions and return to them, we haven't found much use for the digital notepad. Sure, you can type notes about a particular question, maybe that you're struggling with, so that when you return to it later, you can reread your thoughts about it. But other than that, we don't suspect it will be much of a benefit to you.
Multiple choice. The questions on the exam are all multiple choice A through D. You will use your code reference to
Understanding
answer
the ICC
each
question
question.
bank. The code questions are pulled from a master bank of questions that ICC has built up over the years. When you take your test, you will randomly get 50 questions to answer. If a person fails the test and schedules a retest, because of ICC's large bank of questions, you could see a few of the same questions on the next attempt, but probably not more than that. Don't count on seeing many repeats.
The ICC questions are not meant to trick you, but they are designed to make you thoroughly look for the correct answer. Study tip: you may find answers in the fine print or small notes under tables and charts. References, charts, and tables alone without factoring in the fine print notes will cause you to miss questions. Passing. Fast facts: you need a 75% score to pass, but not all of the questions are weighted the same. Some are more difficult than others and weights higher or lower. For this reason, we think it's possible to miss 12 questions of the 50, which calculates to getting 76 correct, and still fail, but probably not much more than that. In other words, we don't believe the weighting system dramatically tips the passing make in either direction. Because of this scoring system, we don't advise shooting for simply the minimum. Shoot to get more than just the minimum correct, which lead us time management and managing the more difficult questions. With our approaches below, we will show you how to do this. Question time management overview study tip. It's absolutely true that it's best not to dwell on difficult question for too long. It kills your momentum and can negatively affect your emotions. This can make it more difficult to focus, think, and find answers, and cause you to doubt your responses. All of these things will kill valuable time since we are facing the clock. We need to understand how much time we really have for each question. Study tip: available time per code test question 50 question to our time limit. This means 2 minutes and 24 seconds per question. Think about it. If all questions were of equal difficulty, you would have just under 2.5 minutes to answer each of 50 questions. But some questions you will find more easily and others will be very difficult. You are borrowing the time from easy question to get through the hard ones. This is where pacing come into play. Question pacing equal killing momentum. Study tip. Good pacing mean you don't dwell on difficult questions for very long. You save them for the end. After you borrow time from the easier questions and you have that bank of time built it based on your own experience and that of other users who give us feedback, we find the following breakdown of questions difficulty to be the case for most test sessions. Study tip questions, question difficulty breakdown. Good test 50 question, mildly difficult 25 questions 50%, moderately difficult 15 questions 30%, most difficult 10 questions 20%.
Using the above breakdown as a guide.
Breakdown as a guide.
The list above is simply a guide, and a few questions can balance more one way over the other. If you take the test and you find 20 or 30 questions that are on the most difficult spectrum, then you probably need to go back and restudy certain code sections before making a new test attempt.
Executing the code test in three passes to keep strong pacing and spend the least amount of time answering question. You should go through 50 question 3 passes. Pass number 1, answering all mildly difficult questions. During the very first pass of the question, you should seek to answer all
Getting
of
through
the
pass
easiest
one
questions.
efficiently. The 3 levels of difficult questions will be scattered throughout the 50. You don't know where the moderately difficult or most difficult questions are until you've seen them. So to make the most of this first pass, when you find the difficult questions, mark them using the flag option on your screen interface. Don't waste time continuing to try and find the answer.
Study tip. You are shooting to answer 25 questions in 45 minutes or less. On this first pass, it shouldn't take you long to figure out that the question isn't easy. When you quickly discover it is not a mildly difficult question, mark it and move on. Like this is a marking. You press for the marking. Illustration 15T CMD marking question. When you take the real test, there is a row of options at the top, so you can flag questions, move on, and return to them later. You can mark question whatever you answered it or leave it blank. Use the system to maximize your time. Study tip, don't get discouraged if you find yourself marking 4 or 5 questions in a row. It happens. Just move forward as planned. Pass 2. Answering all the moderately difficult questions. You will now go through only the questions you have flagged and skipped. This could be upwards of 25 questions. Theoretically, you would have spent close to 45 minutes on the first pass. Illustration 15T CME returning to marked questions. As you mark questions, they will go saved into the Pronto system interface. You can return to them by clicking the button to view all of the marked ones. The check mark we show indicates that question has been answered. No marking means this question was marked, but no answer was selected. Pronto will function symmetry, but look a bit different. Think about it. You are shooting to answer 25 to 30 questions in about 45 minutes during the pass one. After I answer pass one questions and spending some time looking at questions you couldn't answer, you would have used up about 45 minutes of your 2 hours of time. Remember, you did have to use up time to look at the more difficult questions to be able to flag them for later. At 45 minutes in, you now have 1 hour and 15 minutes to finish 25 or less difficult questions. This is a
Going
realistic
back
goal.
through skipped questions. In the test, you can see all of the skipped questions and click on each one to return. Don't worry about the ones you just answered during the first pass. Otherwise, you'll waste time. You're moving on to the others because now you need to nail those.
Pass 2 should take you around 45 minutes or less to read through and answer roughly 15 questions. These questions are more difficult and you have more time for them. If you find you are taking more than a couple minutes to answer questions, keep it marked and it now becomes most difficult questions. Otherwise, answer and clear the flag. Think about it. Pass 2 should give you close to 15 additional questions answered and resolved. This leaves you with the most difficult questions, and you should be looking at about 10 or so of them left, give or take. Part 3, answering all the most difficult questions. With the first two passes completed, you should have about 30 minutes left to answer the 10 or so most difficult questions. Think about it. Because of the way the passes are structured, you now have about 3 minutes to answer each of the most difficult questions. Not only do you have this time, but you have already read each remaining questions once and possibly twice. Weeding out poor choices. When you are facing the more difficult question in passing 2 or 3, try to weed out bad choices. Study tip: many times with multiple choice, 2 of 4 answers can be recognized as more wrong than other 2. That leaves only choice left. Weeding out 2 of 4 choices drastically increases your odds of getting the question right. You double your chances from 25 to 50%. With the remaining time and some hand work, you can find the information and weed out the last ones, or make a strong, educated guess. Think about it. If you haven't studied adequately, weeding out the poor choices may be proved to be too difficult to you. One answer could be as plausible as the next, but with some prior experience and after reviewing all of instructed information in our course, this this technique can still be used for even the most difficult question. Should I review answers when finished? Should you go back through and review all of the questions and answers you have selected? Probably not. Study tip: reviewing answer selections can be an added taxation to the already fatigued testing time spent, plus it can use you to second guess your change correct answers, and invoke additional stress. We recommended reading through each question carefully the first time. If you rush through a question when you read it, you can actually read words that are not there or miss key qualifying words, leading you to the wrong answer anyway. Study tip. Example test questions will use words like always and never. If you rush through a lengthy questions that has qualifying words like that present missing, that words will cause you to choose the wrong answer. This is only one example, but there are many. Like, people have tendencies to do this when they have test anxiety and they are anxious to finish this. They think they are doing themselves a favor by getting through the session quickly, but in reality they are greatly dimensioning their chances of passing. Then they have to do it
The
all over.
fresh look approach. Give every question a new and fresh look when you first read it. Then you won't have to worry about going back for a final review, other than to answer marked questions or to verify that you haven't left anything blank.
Final thoughts. You are allowed to use the reference we have been using throughout this course. The following are not allowed to be used. Study tip. Item not allowed with the prompt testing system, calculator that program or store information, anything you could write with, electronic devices such as your phone or smartwatch, loose leaf papers, your study notes, non-permanent tips or flags attached to your book. Study tape. Some of us purchase and use have a digital PDF copies of various good PDF. These can be printed and used on the exam, provided they are punched and placed into three-ring printer. A stapled edge also allowed. Save this link to show a test administrator as backup. Here is the list of things that you can bring. Study tip. Items allowed at person VUE testing. Your reference book, original pound, original bond, a three-ring bond or stapled, basic non-programmable calculator, magnifying glass or your eyeglass, notes written in ink in your book, highlights in your book, permanently attached tabs cannot be removed with or without damaging pages. Think about it. Most testing administrators know little, if anything, about the International Code Council, the International Mechanical Code, or the Building Inspection field. You can politely educate them if you are questions and have the above link ready.
A final
Final
vote of
vote
confidence.
conference.
Remember to relax and go into the test with confidence. Getting all worked up, nervous, anxious will not help you in any way. So just try and relax. Even the night before the test, don't study. Watch a movie or relax with your family or friends. You should have already put in many hours of studying. Extra cramming last minute will do little at this point generally. You can review some things if you want, but try and relax and remain calm. There is no substitute for hard work and your hours of study in this course. It will pay off.
Yeah, so now we finished the course and we finished the test strategies. Okay, now we will study the two practice tests, and after this we are ready to enter the exam.